Imagine showing up at the airport for an adventure only to realize you can't even board. Hey everyone, welcome back. So, whether you're headed on a quick weekend getaway or a full-blown vacation, packing can be an art. But here's a fun fact. Around 25% of travelers forget at least one critical item when heading out. Today, I'm breaking down the top items most commonly left behind when going on a trip and giving you tips so this never happens to you again. Let's start with one of the most shocking statistics: passports or ID. Imagine showing up to the airport ready for an adventure only to realize you can't even board. But you may be surprised to learn that up to 7% of international travelers forget these essential items. Next up, travel documents and credit cards. Even with careful planning, a surprising 15% of travelers forget essential documents or cards at home. Sometimes we just assume that everything is in our wallet or purse, but last-minute rushes can lead to these essentials being left behind. Then, on the list, we have medications. Forgetting prescription or over-the-counter medication can be not only inconvenient, but even dangerous. And 18% of travelers leave their medication at home. And roughly 24% of travelers tend to forget items like toothbrushes and toiletries. Now, some hotels may offer these basics, but not everything. And while these items can be bought, it's always frustrating to purchase something you already have. Now, in a world where we rely so much on technology, 20% of travelers tend to leave their chargers behind, causing that dreaded scramble to find a replacement. But why do we leave these things behind? Researchers actually say there are two main reasons. One is called the busy mind syndrome. That is, where we're packing, we're just trying to think and remember so many things, and this can lead us to overlook the essentials. The other factor is called misplaced priority. And this simply means that sometimes we're focused on more the outfits for the getaway, for example, than practical items, and just assuming we'll remember the rest. So, what can you do to avoid leaving things behind? Well, the first tip is to use a dedicated packing list. And there are actually free apps that remind you of each category, from documents to toiletries. Tip 2 is pack your essentials in advance. That means start with non-clothing essentials at least 2 days before departure, as this will help to avoid the last minute panic. Tip 3. Use an empty counter or find somewhere where you can just dedicate as a place to put your essentials. So sometimes there are things that you may be using until the day of the trip. You don't want to forget it, so you have them set aside all in one spot so that you can remember. And tip 4, back up your documents digitally. Snap photos of your passport, your ID, your itinerary. This way, if anything happens, you have copies. And finally, tip 5. Set yourself a mental reminder for power banks and chargers. So if you're charging up your devices the night before, put the chargers in your bag as soon as you unplug it. Don't wait, because sometimes you will tend to forget. So now that you know what items are often forgotten and the steps to remember them, you're set for a stress-free trip. And remember, the more organized you are in advance, the more time you'll have to relax when you finally reach your destination. But you know what? Tell me, what's the worst item you've ever forgotten on a trip? And leave that comment below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. So until we meet again in the next video, happy travels!